So I just got back from the Amundsen Theater. There was a preview there of Matilda the musical that's coming here next year. And I guess I was one of the most fabulous theater writers because I got invited to it. Okay, also, okay, I just like want to explain my surroundings, but not right now. But also, digression, look at these fabulous crystals on my nails. Where can I show them? You see this? Look, those are real crystals on my nails. How gorgeous are those? Oh my God. I think I'm never going to take them off. Don't look at the rest of my nails because I'm keeping them on there for a long time for the crystals. But anyhow, that was a digression. So they invited us to interview the composer lyricist for the show, whose name is Tim Minchin. So being the thorough journalist that I am, I researched him and found out he's an Aussie comedian in addition to being a composer lyricist. So I go to this thing, and there were really only about 5 or 6 of us who were invited to interview him. It was really kind of a big deal thing, and it was very nice, and I was glad to be included. But, you know me, I'm a little jokey. So I get there, and there's this guy who's going to interview him right before me, and he's kind of young, the guy. Not Tim. Well, I don't know what Tim is. He's not old. He's not young. He's like a guy. Okay, he's a kid. He's married. I don't know. That has nothing to do with the story, and I'm sure he doesn't want me discussing his age anyhow. But there was a young guy trying to be a journalist who was about to interview him too, and he was like all nervous and everything. And so he said to me, "Do you have questions?" I said, "Yeah, of course." I said, "Do you?" And he takes out a paper that looks like this. It's not this paper, and that's also not even in this language. Do any of you know what this is? This is the kind of press releases I get. This is in another language. Okay, so it's kind of like, but anyhow, so the kid takes out like this, and he has this many questions, and then he has subdivisions. He has like old school outlines, capital A, and then number 1, and then small a, and then a even smaller 1. How did you do different numbers in different cases? I mean, numbers are numbers, right? Oh, no, you know what? We must have had a Roman numeral or 2 in there, but it doesn't matter. I don't know. This guy even had this, whatever language this is in there, I'm sure. And so he said, "Can I see yours?" I said, "Mine are kind of in my head." So we go into the room, and this kid is in the orchestration. And in New York, there are 18 instruments, and in London, there are only 17. Like, and he's asking all this stuff, and it comes to be my turn, and I go to him. "So, how do you eat Vegemite?" Because he's Australian. That's my in-depth question. Because it's the most disgusting substance on the face of the planet, and it's even worse than the E-words. How do they eat it? I wanted an Aussie to explain it to me, so thank God Tim had a sense of humor because he's a comedian too. So he laughed, so that was good. But I don't know if I'm going to be invited back. And I don't know. If I'm not invited to the opening night of Matilda, we're going to know what it is. Because my next in-depth question was about fairy bread, which is also an Australian thing. And that's, that's my question. So it's a shame. I did take a selfie with him, which I didn't want to. I went to take a picture of him, and he grabbed my camera out of my hands, and I thought it was a reaction to my bad interviewing technique, and it was to take a picture of us. So you probably see that in this thing that we're writing about. So anyhow, thank you. That's it. And I hope we all waltz Matilda together. Oh, that was clever. I just made that up at the top of my head. Okay.